This is the episode. You've been serving everyone, yet being served the least. Not anymore. Welcome, everybody. I'm Latoya Deshawn. I'm on my third episode. Can't believe it. If you're here, I thank you so much. This episode is called Don't Second Guess Your Blessings. Sometimes I'll have a title, sometimes I won't, but today I do. If you listened to the last episode, you know I'm in Accra, Ghana. I've extended my trip and it's been one hell of a time. And so I'm doing a recap, even though I'm still here. I'm making a trek on to the next place. But I'd be remiss if I didn't spend time talking about how great it was, the lessons that I've learned, and what's next. Again, I want to thank Jamal for letting me use his studio. He is truly the best. I mean, he is going to literally be a pillar in like podcast recording in Accra for especially Black women to tell their stories, to be seen, to be valued, to be heard. So we had to get back. We had to come back together. I appreciate him. He allowed me to do this. Thank you so much. So I'm going to recap. Let's recap the last episode. I really just talked about my life, the framework, everything on purpose, getting on the front end of life instead of the back end. You know, every day I live out my framework and my habits. I realize how so many people are not disciplined in their daily activities. And so being able to have this experience and to tell my story, to be able to move towards healing, it's really, really important to me. It's such a great thing. I'm so grateful. So I told a little bit about my story. I went through it fast. I will break it down more, but I'm going to tell you what I'm doing now and how Ghana is going, and how that relates to my transformation and how I help women move towards personal freedom. The first pillar of my company is Behind Every Face is a Story. You heard that story. Your story is important. I sat down with a woman today, Auntie Buka, Auntie Audrey, owner of Buka Restaurants. But I'll also say just one hell of a woman, one hell of a story, and one hell of a giver out here. I was able to sit down with her, hear her story, be inspired, be aspired, learn something from her. And I'm sure she learned something back. It was a great time. I'm always amazed at how I put myself in rooms with some of the best women around the world. You know, I literally go up to them with so much courage and ask for their intimate time. I'm so outcome focused that it doesn't even faze me to do it in this stage of the game. She really loved how I went up to her and asked to meet her privately, and that I stood to my time, that I was not on Ghanaian time. I wasn't even on CP time. I was on time. And so she was impressed. And again, that's purpose. That's everything on purpose, getting on the front end. That alone gives her a certain level of calm, of peace. And so it was a really great time. And she dropped so many gems. She told her story. It directly related to the framework. Again, if you don't know about the framework, go on patentleatherproject.com, everythingonpurpose.com, which is the podcast, to learn more about how to move towards personal freedom. And so when she told her story, it all fit in with the 3 pillars. It all fit in. And so I'm just in awe and just glad that that's one of the last things that I did before I leave this great country. And so again, she told her story. We had another guest in the room, and I was just talking with her a few days ago about why story is important, especially when you're making moves, like personal freedom, moving out of the country, being an entrepreneur, sacrificing, creating better relationships, leaving toxic relationships. What is that thing? Why are you doing it? The high achievers method. What are you doing? Why are you doing it? What is the impact on your life? What are the stakes? So it wrapped itself up in a bow of what I already know my purpose is. But again, it all ends with community, and just really grateful to have met her. So I'm here, I'm in Ghana. I'm seemingly outside for the first time. And since COVID, yes, I've been to other places, but it still doesn't compare to going out of the country and staying there extensively. Although I know my privilege, I'm still just in awe of the inconsistencies in the world. And so 2.5 years ago, when I decided to transform my life, I knew I wanted to help people. Well, I knew that since 19, but it had to be women. It had to be, women who wanted to choose to show up for themselves and to stop playing small. And so I've always done that. And so I gravitated towards those women. And so while I've been here, I've been able to learn about the culture, see what's inconsistent, and see how I can best help. And they're sure to help me. So 2.5 years ago, I was lost. I was coasting through life. I didn't have really good relationships. Most of all, I was living in fear, in bad relationships, ashamed of the life I was living. It was all just kind of bad. But I was disguising it as a high achiever. I had degrees. I had all the things. And so a lot of women like me, we go and get all these accolades to really hide the fact that we're depressed, that we're anxious, that we're not really happy and fulfilled in our life, that we want something different. For most women, they don't hear I love you as much. They aren't used to a healthy version of intimacy and so many things. And I'm one of those women as well. So 2.5 years ago, I said, I really just want to serve myself and to hold myself in the highest regard. So as I set my vision for my life, and again, I talked about this in the last episode, I really lived up to it. And I want to say that I'm really proud. I just want to say, as my trip is coming to an end, I have so many feelings about it, being that I've been outside for the first time. So I'm on my way to leaving. I'm almost out of here. And, towards the end of my trip, I have so many feelings and, so many thoughts going through my head. And, I deal with belief systems and thought patterns and emotional reactions. So I always try to assess what's happening with me, especially as I'm on this journey. So if I were to break it down in my beliefs, I would say, being in Ghana really helps you to be seen, valued, and heard, as a woman. You're really admired for your looks. Men want to be around. They want to take you out and be seen with you. And so it's really, really nice to have that change of flavor outside of the United States. And they take a great deal care of their health. And that shows in their walking culture. A lot of them go to the gym and just so many other things. So when I look at what they do to create joy and to feel freedom, the culture outside really plays a big part of that. But it's still just been a little bit hard acclimating to how much this feels like home, because I also left America for a reason. And Ghana has characteristics of, it's very busy, it's big, it has an LA vibe. And although I love it, for myself, I wanted to get a bit of a retreat from that. So I managed to find that in the areas that I live. And for American folks, that is the suburbs. So I'm staying in 2 particular suburbs while I've been here. And so I've been able to have my quiet time and to just do Ghana at my own pace, which as a result of doing Ghana at my own pace, realize how much I love it, how much it is home. And so my belief is that, I deserve to be seen, valued, and heard. I deserve not only just in Ghana, but in anything that I do to be seen as a human being. And I always tell people to meet me as a human being. I know I've been fighting for that my entire life. And so as I navigate the cultural differences, although, 2 people are coming together to share their differences, I want to be seen as a human and how I would like to be treated, regardless of what the culture might subscribe to. So that's one of the big things for myself, and how that relates to me in my life is just setting my goals for myself, being able to have that alignment with God and being obedient with God. It's like, you can choose to fall, or you can choose to keep going. And so in those moments of temptation, who do you really answer to? And so in those moments, I've had to wrestle with discomfort. But it's been okay, because I know that nothing is about me. And I'm here to just try to navigate myself. And now what I told this one man here is that even if I subscribe to everything that's cultural about this country, I still would need time to adjust. So there still would have to be a learning curve. So I'm grateful that I choose to have these experiences, and knowing that we all have a learning curve to create better relationships. So as I know I deserve, that's how I'll continue to collide, challenge, and hold myself in the highest regard. So again, going with my thoughts, I have to just stay outcome focused as to what I'm doing. Again, the man were really, really a great experience while I've been here. And I'll talk about that. Maybe when you join my community, I'll show you the behind the scenes of that in the community. But that has been a good experience, just learning about them. But I have to stay outcome focused. A lot of them, when you meet them, the culture is that they have plans for you, for marriage, for babies, for all kind of things that, don't really look at the person as a human being. Even though that's great to have, just are you asking the woman what she wants? And I don't think, I think there's opportunity for a man all over the world to sit back and ask the woman, what do you want? And so my thought is that I have to stay outcome focused, and that shows up in my daily habits, in my discipline that I've displayed through my habits in the last 2.5 years. And so when I think about my emotional reactions, though, it's frustrating to stay obedient. It's frustrating to be disciplined. I'm in Ghana, I'm having fun. I'm staying out late. I'm meeting people. The men look good. I'm feeling good. And, and I can't be the Toya that I was 2.5 years ago, who was just coasting through life and just settling. I want to stay outcome focused with the things that I want. So being able to say no and to hold boundaries now, I always spoke up for myself, but to actually have boundaries is a new thing for me. But to have those boundaries and to see how that has played out, the impact that it's had on my life, my trip, even though it's so uncomfortable, because your mind is saying one thing, your body is doing another. But you still have to think, what is the thing you want for the rest of your life? And so I'm proud of myself in just how I've navigated this country. But my emotional response is that it's frustrating. I'm mad that I have to always be so good. But I know that whatever I'm leaving in my past is nowhere near what I'm gaining. It only gets bigger and better from here. And I've also learned that, I'm stronger than I know. coming out 2 years later and just literally being a different person after COVID, and just a lot of things happening different in my life, from family estrangement to career, going a different route, to me being an international explorer, global artist. I realize I'm stronger than I know. And so some of my techniques, I've been using the emoji, like the woosah emoji, or whatever. I'll post it, what emoji I've been using, because it's really also affirmation for myself to don't worry about anything. Things are being taken care of for you. You don't have to live in fear. Fear doesn't really exist. So I live out my framework every day. That's step 4, affirm yourself. So many strategies within step 4 to get you to your highest place. And so I use that emoji because I love the emojis on the Apple phone. And that's how I'm able to find some solace or some grace in how I'm navigating through life. I want to say I'm almost at the end. And what I've learned is, and this was my saying for all of 2021, is that it's okay to move forward. I'm on this trip. So many things happened. I had so much fun. I didn't really get to see the sights. I'm going to come back. This is basically home. But what I know is that it's okay to move forward. It's okay that you're going to move forward and really miss a place. I'm really going to miss Ghana. I'm going to miss the food so much. I didn't even know I was going to love it so much. I'm literally trying to find it all over and stuff myself. But I posted my manifestations in 2019. I'll always talk about them. That's part of my story. And so if you stick around, you'll know how important it is that even though this trip was amazing, and this is home and I'll be back extensively, it's okay to move forward, to live out the purpose, which if you read my manifestation, you know what that is. And I'll be announcing it very, very soon. But what people have told me when I posted my Instagram photos is, look at the glow. Look at how you glow right now. Look how happy you look. You're just free. I was at dinner right now at Buka Restaurant. A woman who's 65 years old, who's a realtor from Ghana, but lives in America, just loved us. She went up to me and one of my friends on this trip and said, "What do you ladies do that allow you to just move like this?" And we all laughed. To see her admiration was just amazing. But, people have been asking us that all the time, and just women like me, what do you do? How are you able to be free? I'll tell you right now, it's a community. It's an underground community of women who are dedicated to your personal freedom. And so today, as I recap, that was what it was all about. It was about women empowerment, self-love, holding yourself in the highest regard, personal freedom. But I'll tell you, even though you see those Instagram pictures, there's a whole lot of bullshit in the back. And again, I will not talk about it, publicly, because I do not want to do that. But certainly you get a part of the community. I'll go a little bit deeper into some of the bullshit that I've went through here in Ghana as well, and why I just will not settle for anything less than what I know I deserve. The framework is solid. The framework, in my opinion, if I want to guarantee it, I'll say your life changes in less than 18 months. But really, your life starts changing once you decide. The first principle is you must decide. You must get out of your own way. You must be self-aware. You must tell the truth. You must be honest. But you must believe in yourself, right? You must believe in yourself. And so the framework works. Pillar number 2, into the dreamy zone. Principle number 2, into the dreamy zone. Build your strategy, create your practice. Principle number 3, everything you need is everything you have. Women, you don't have to keep on getting credentials. You don't have to keep on having to get qualified or feel you need to be qualified to be seen, valued, or heard. You're worthy if you have nothing at all. Trust me, there's a whole bunch of women right now dedicated to your personal freedom. Patent Leather Project is at the helm of it. The last one is it all ends with community. So on that note, I'm going to leave you with a couple of things so that you can stay in touch. Of course, the company is Patent Leather Project. We're here for millennial women all over the world, helping to get to your personal freedom. 8 steps to personal freedom. Go ahead and look that up and get at us if you want to get a part of the community, if you want to get the personal coaching that includes so much more. Your life will never be the same. It'll only be better once you decide. Also, this podcast, everythingonpurpose.com, go to the website. The episodes are posted there. If you want to ask me a question or get in touch with me, we'll have an email soon. But everything with the email goes to info@patentleatherproject.com, info@patentleatherproject.com. Also, if you really know me, you know I'm a personal makeup artist, a high profile clientele, and I still do that. I still work. And, you know, hey, if you're listening, you know someone, I like the agency life. So if we have a celebrity, if we got someone's press tour, advertising campaign, a beauty campaign, come on, look at me, LatoyaDeshawn.com. LatoyaDeshawn.com is where you can see my work. I'm out here, y'all. I'm out here just trying to live my best life, and I'm meeting some amazing people while I'm at it. You must pursue personal freedom. If you are here to the end of this podcast, right before I went on here, I got so hot and I had a panic attack, and it was, I did not feel like I was in control. I felt like I was going to fall down, and I have actually the video of what it looked like, because I just couldn't talk and I had to just stop. And what I'm thankful for is that I stopped, I sat down, and Jamal, who's in here, who's been here the whole time supporting me, I asked for what I need, and we went outside, and I was allowed to get some air, and he stayed there the entire time. And, you know, this all looks so good. And when we think that, like, yay, you don't really aren't still going through, but in that moment, it all ended with community, and he helped so that I can get back to his podcast, because the purpose is so much bigger than me. He doesn't know I was in the chair. I was about to cancel because I just did not feel like I was in control. But I said I can at least go outside and let God show up and do what he does. And he did, not only with a beautiful nature, but in this beautiful man who supported me today. I pray that every woman who wants to pursue personal freedom and feels like a podcast of music or whatever it is with production that he could help you with, that you reach out to him in Accra, Ghana. I'm at Jamore Records, and I will post all of that. So I will post that video of what it looked like as I was getting ready to have a panic attack. I'm thankful, I'm grateful. The life you can expect to live is that, you know, once you live out your steps, you'll be creating your own practice. Trust me, you'll still be going through, but you'll be so much better. You've been serving everyone, yet being served the least. Not anymore. Thank you guys for listening.